How can we bring that back to Japan? How can we bring that back to America? And talk about what is your experience? How did you do it? What did it feel like? And how can we transform or transfer this to our culture? So we have about 5,000 business tourists every year on this academy. We have a lot of cooperation with colleges from America, universities from Japan, and many different places. It's quite funny, actually. The Energy Academy is equipped with solar and all sort of things. Have a look at it at the website. We educate young people. We start with the very young people because they will be the future engineers and work out the energy that we need when we retire. This is a convinced young student having a solar cooked sausage. It's very impressive. He's convinced that solar energy is good. We bring them to the nacelle of the wind turbine. This is 50 meters above ground. This turbine, this generator is about 3,000 horsepower. This will produce energy enough for 650 homes on a yearly basis. It's very funny to say to this young guy who lives out here in the village, when you look out the window tomorrow and the turbine is not spinning, do you have any electricity? And he said, no, obviously we don't. He understands the connection from production to consumption, where mostly we don't do that because we just go out there with a switch on button and we have this magic finger. We can just buy electricity. We can shut off production again. But who cares about where it comes from and how it works? Because we can just do it like this. There's no connection. And of course, there's no morale and there's no responsibility when you consume. We can try to make responsible young kids out of this by indicating that this is the production, here's the consumption. Okay. We try to do the same thing with people from other countries and tell them that they can maybe make a similar language that is good for them at home. We've been very famous because of this. Obviously you didn't know that, but most people do know about this. Maybe not journalists. We've been everywhere. BBC World News has been on Samso 3 times. And next week we have New York Times there one more time. And we have business and television and everybody's there all the time. We're telling this story again and again and again. Hopefully one day it'll come to your minds also. It was today. What we're also doing, which is very interesting, is that we have a connection. I'm over here happy smiling in China. This is my county mayor, and this is the county mayor of Chongming Island in the Yangtze River. Here it says, letter of intent on cooperation and exchange between Chongming County of Shanghai, China, and Samso of Aarhus County, Denmark. That's cool. We're signing a contract with China. Strong, impressive. But the real winners of this project is that the Chinese, they want to have an energy island similar to the Samso Island. And they want it to be ready by 2010 for the World Expo exhibition, which is taking place in Shanghai, which is good. But the real winners is the Vestas Wind Company, the Danfoss, or the Grundfos, one of the big Danish companies. They are also there. And they are ready to export all the know-how and the technology for these new movers. And they are the real winners in this project. So we are door openers, and behind us we have the Danish industry. The EU wants us to. They think that this is a cool little project, and they want us to be promoting the EU policies for regional development. That's not too bad. We've been out there, sometimes I think it's funny. This is a Danish company. This is in Kansas, in America. The owner of this wind project is Enel. And according to my knowledge, Enel is an Italian. Yeah. How come that an Italian electricity company owns the wind turbines in America? I thought that was very funny. So I drove down the road. Here I am talking to a redneck from Kansas on his Harley Davidson. I said, what do you think about these new turbines? He said, they're really cool. I like these turbines. They're doing a good job. That's nice and that's cool. I said, do you know who owns them? No, that's probably some rich guy from New York or something like that. He didn't care and he didn't know about it. I said, couldn't it be cool if you owned them? Or your local community or your farm? You could have your shares bought in these turbines. Yeah, that would be really nice, but that's not possible. We cannot do that. That's close to communism in America. But I think that is the way forward. That is involving local people in the investments, in the ownership, and in the responsibility of this kind of development. This is a bunch of local rednecks from Samso. From the people. You remember the guy, the accountant, the beefy farmer from the New Yorker, and my old teacher. They are out there studying the foundation. They are looking at the foundation for our offshore wind turbines. This is a big steel construction, 300 meters long, about 300 tons of steel, and we were buying the contracts of these offshore turbines. $240 million 240 million Danish kroner investments there. And we should have seen these guys when they signed the contract. And they were really big guys when they walked out to get to the bus to go back to the island. I mean, they couldn't get through the doors to the bus. They had to go sideways because they were so strong and so big. But the story behind this is that they actually come home, they come back to the island, and they tell stories about what we did. We conquered the world. We brought home the prey and the trophy, and we are now big guys. We can do things. It means something when we are there. We rumble, or we make noise when we are out there. And it means a lot for local community that we can actually make a difference. So this is basically my story. Make local ownership as kind of one of the key focus areas of development, and you'll see a lot of things happen. Because, of course, you obviously need national frameworks, and national budgets for this to happen. But you need to involve local people, otherwise nothing will happen. We've invested about 10 million, we used to import for the value of $10 million energy imported every year. And today we have invested about $75 million. Remember, there was only 4,000 people living on the island. 65 million was from local money and 10 million was subsidies from the EU or from Danish funding. So that's a lot per capita. But you have to bear in mind that this is all bank financed, and the payback time is around 10 years for the investments. So it does pay. It is a good investment. So this means that if you kind of add this up to a full community, to all of Denmark, this is a hell of a lot of money. This is, I mean, if you add it up to EU, this is out of your mind a lot of money. But if people are ready to invest this kind of money, you have a lot more action in it. I mean, this is what you want to activate. To make this happen, you need reliable policy, long-term framework, reasonable budgets, local and individual action plans, and brave politicians. Do you know any brave politicians? Any real brave politicians who can take a decision that will maybe not benefit his own career, but will benefit the environment, and he might risk to lose his seat, but he made a risky decision with his politicians to make, that made sense. Do you know any of these politicians? I know that Al Gore, when he was having a seat in the parliament or in the White House, he was voting against some of the things that he actually